You are going to read an extract from a novel. 7 paragraphs have been removed from the extract. Choose from the paragraphs A to H the one which fits each gap, 27 to 33. There is one extra paragraph which you do not need to use. Mark your answers on the separate answer sheet. In those days, the council houses stretched all over the western side of the city, row after row of huddled, dingy dwellings in orange half brick or pale white stucco. In summer, the chemicals from the May and Baker factory 2 miles away came and hung around the doors and gardens with an indescribable smell of sulfur. And the most common sight in that part of Norwich early in the morning was a paper boy wrinkling his nose in disgust as he negotiated somebody's front pass. 27. F. Most of this early life I have forgotten, but there is a memory of sitting or perhaps balancing, at any rate precariously, on some vantage point near an upstairs window and looking at the houses as they faded away into the distance. Later on there are other phantoms, faces that I can't put names to. My mother ironing towels in the back room of a house that I do not think was ours. Snow falling over the turrets of the great mansion at Earlham. That my mother should intrude into these early memories is no surprise. I remember her as a small, precise, and nearly always angry woman, the source of whose anger I never quite understood, and consequently could not do anything to appease. Even as a child, though accompanying her to the small shops in Bunett Square, or on no longer excursions into the city. I am sure that I had some notion of the oddity of her personality. 28. D. She was, for instance, quite the most solitary person I have ever known, as alone in a room full of people, as on a moor. To his solitariness was added a fanatic adhesion to a kind of propriety uncommon on the West Earlham estate, which occasionally broke out in furious spring cleanings or hand washing and instructions to behave proper. As a moral code, to this was completely beyond my comprehension. Even now, I am not sure that I understand it. To particularize, it meant not straying into neighborhoods' gardens or jeopardizing their rose bushes as you walk down the street. It meant sitting for long hours in a silent dining room with your hands folded across your chest, listening to radio programs that my mother liked. It meant, 100 proscriptions and prohibitions,